live, going live, going live, going live, going live. Welcome. Taco Macho Wacho Nacho Tuesday. It is National Taco Day. It ain't just regular Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday all around the world. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by community guidelines. Tell Jimmy Kimball while you at it. While we making our service identification here, now, man, tell Jimmy Kimball tell Jimmy Kimball to welcome. Tell first Jimmy Kimball, welcome to the chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by community guidelines. Tell Jimmy Kimball we all gotta follow rules, Jimmy. We all gotta follow a community guide. First in the chat, get shouted out. Y'all know how we do without a doubt. First in the chat, get shouted out without a doubt. You know how we do, man. Top of the morning. Come on in, man. Come on in. You see a fire thumbnail, fire discussion, a lot of hot topics, a lot of catching up to do. Taco Macho Wacho Nacho Tuesday. Oh, Pippi, come on in, Pippi girl. I love you so much. Come on in, Pippi girl. I knew you was coming in, but why you didn't just come in when I started the podcast? Why you wait? Pippi girl? Why you wait, Pippi girl? Come on in, everybody. Baby, come on. Baby, come on. Baby, come on. Why you wait, Pippi girl? Come on in. Double tap, hit the like button. #1 podcast in the land. First in the chat, get shouted out without a doubt. First in the chat, get shouted out without a doubt. Double tap, hit the like button. Follow the YouTube etiquette. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by community guidelines. Abide by the community guidelines. Tell your guy, oh man, hold on, wait a minute. Let me get my goal up. Get your goals up, get your polls up, man. Get your goals up, get your polls up. Let's go, man. Save the goal so you know. Hey, how we gonna celebrate? We gonna go live. We gonna go live, man. We got some leaks for you. We gonna start the goal. Goal is started. Go. Every podcast, we got a goal of 15 super chats. And now the goal is up. Thank you guys. Thank you, YouTube, for listening to the #1 podcast in the land. I know YouTube, I was doing the goal before YouTube gave us the gold button. You know what I'm saying? But now that we got the button in the podcast, in the vertical podcast game, the vertical podcast, if you didn't get in the beginning, I know a lot of people in the content creation community like, oh, vertical podcast, vertical format, even on StreamYard, I see people using vertical. Man, it's too late, man. Perfect type of podcast with the black. I got this shit already, man. Vertical podcast, man. Political conservative content, man. We in the driver's seat, man. Double tap, hit the like button. We in the driver's seat, man. Come on in, hit the like. As you come in, double tap, hit the like button. Look at the goal, man. 15 super chats is the goal. I think that's a good basis because we get like 300 to 1,000 people watching. So that's like 10% of the viewer audience. So, spread that out how you will, man. Double tap. When you subscribe, you're going to get a plus sign. That's going to give you the option to join the channel. As you come in, respect the members, respect the mods, spread unity and love in the chat. That's what we about. Unity, love, make America great again. You know where you at. Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. And you know who giving you the news. It's your boy, man. And we got another fire one today. I know you see that fire thumbnail, man. Bring him in. I know you see that fire thumbnail, bringing them in. But that's what we do, man. We make magic happen every day in Black conservative America. Mega, MAGA, Muchu. Make America great again on this Taco Macho Wacho Tuesday. And it's not just Taco Tuesday, it's National Taco Tuesday. I mean, it's Taco Tuesday around the world. Taco Bell got free tacos, Chili's. Where do you eat? Everywhere right now. Macho Wacho Nacho Taco Mega MAGA Tuesday. So excited. I have lunch with my wife on Tuesday. We have tacos. She has tacos. It's a taco fest. You know what I'm saying? We have a good time and celebrate. Today we have another great topic from the conservative political perspective. You know what I'm saying? Have a good conversation. Chop it up this morning. Go ahead, double tap, like, share, and subscribe. Get everybody in the podcast, man. Go ahead and double tap, like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? With that good Trump news. And we got a bunch of good topics to talk about today. And that's why we got that beautiful thumbnail up there. Multiple topics, an array of discussions to be had. Taco Tuesday, Taco Macho Wacho. Perfect timing. Come on in, man. Double tap, come on in. I'm drinking on my raspberry hibiscus. We got a double shot this morning. Double shot of raspberry hibiscus, man. First in the chat, get shouted out. Without a doubt. First in the chat, get shouted out without a doubt. Where you at? Let me know where you at, man. So much is going on right now, man. Love and unity, respect and peace and blessings. So much is going on right now, man. Y'all been watching this testimony, man. This testimony is a trip, man. But you know what I'm saying? I love it, man, because we prepared for the weather, man, and we already knew about the political sandbag. That's why I've been educating my audience since the beginning of this year, giving you the political theater. Now I am seeing that response coming back to me. I'm seeing it on multiple AI search engines. They are acknowledging the political theater. Now my audience, like I said, MAGA already knew the climate. My audience already knew the climate. We have discussed the political theater, laid out the foundation, but now I think a lot of Americans on both sides of the aisle, I think they're going to get tired of it, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think, man. I think Americans is getting tired of the political theater, because when you look at Pam Bondi getting grilled by the Democrats this morning in the Senate, you got to ask yourself, now, what did we talk about? We talk about Trump news giving Democrats the blues. What's a great example of Trump news giving Democrats the blues? What are those 48 Senate confirmations in one day? Now think about 48 Senate confirmations in one day, juxtaposed to today's Senate hearings where the Democrats are actually performing, right? Like a Shakespearean play, you know what I'm saying? Real political theater is occurring on Capitol Hill with Senate Democrats, right? Because they have nothing tangible to present to their constituents. Remember who coined these terms when you first start hearing these terms, because I think they don't want you to know what a constituency is, because they don't have one and they don't do real politics. But what happened in the Senate just a week or so ago, the Senate Republicans did real politics. They didn't bring up a woman who was qualified, hardworking, and claimed to be for women. I love how when the Democrats get in the power seat, all of the social justice heroes just jump out the window. There was a great conversation on Piers Morgan with Eric Weinstein, and this is a great example of what he said about what's plaguing the Democratic Party, that his hypnosis. So when there's a woman involved, or when there's a minority involved, but when there's a Democrat involved, all the social norms that the Democrat foist upon Republican MAGA go out the window. Republican MAGA, we got to be utmost respectful of minorities, blacks. Look how they crucified Charlie Kirk, because he had an opinion that was not in lock and step with your opinion of the black community. Why does he have to agree? So we have to toe the line in order for Democrats to let us in like it's a monarchy. It's not a monarchy. It's not a monarchy, Democrats. That's a shame. But Pam Bondi is a woman. You said Trump didn't support women. Pam Bondi is a capable, intelligent woman. You said Trump didn't support capable, intelligent women. Well, Pam Bondi is all of those things. But now when Pam Bondi chooses to align herself with MAGA Republicans, and then the social norms that you foist upon everybody, like Title IX, which bathroom to go to, and who should be allowed on which basketball team, go out the window. All those social norms go out the window. Now you have Senate Democrats who have no agenda, they have a platform that they don't implement. Shout out to the Young Turks. Shout out to the Jubilee. Shout out to 21st is one with the Young Turks versus the Jubilee. The Democrats have a platform, they just don't implement it. But they have no agenda, they have no mission statement, no clear leader. Just a week ago, the Republicans came together in consensus and got 48 nominees passed in one day. So the Democrats have not passed anything. The Democrats don't have anything on the floor. There's nothing to argue and tell Democrat constituents, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is where we're going forward. We're going to have Gavin Newsom. They can't even say who's going to be their nominee. They don't know what direction they're going in. So what do they have? They pick on the girl. What do the Democrats do on a Tuesday, Taco Tuesday? They go pick on the girl. And it's disgusting. All of these old white men, supposedly liberal Democrats, supposedly for women, the Democrats, the Dixiecrats, the party of the KKK, they don't do nothing but hoodwink. This is Blexit, fodder for Blexit. Why do you vote Democrat? Why do you support the Democrats when they obviously lied to you about how they truly feel about women, minority, blacks, and low income? Every time they get a chance to support. Look what's happening in Chicago right now. Look what's happening in Chicago right now. Look at the language that's being used and then the results of that language. We are not actually allowed to have real honest conversation about the facts on the ground, about the radicalization of the left. Now, Dr. Eric Weinstein on Piers Morgan said revolutionary, which is why they lack empathy and why they act the way they act. But I think it may be a mixture of both, but it's definitely fueled by the lack of leadership, or what you call leadership on the Democratic Party, that's fueling this. Okay, get out. Get out. Don't come back in. Get out and stay out. Shit. Oh my goodness. I love her. I love my dog, but I mean, goodness gracious, let you in and you just act like a dog. You know what I'm saying? Back at it like a crack addict, automatic like a fomatic, built for tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Time Podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash. 2025 won't last. We're going to get this done real fast in a blast. Yeah, man, today we are talking about Pam Bondi getting grilled on the Capitol Hill. How that sound? Pam Bondi getting grilled on Capitol Hill. It's only a bill sitting on Capitol Hill. Pam Bondi getting grilled on Capitol Hill. How's everybody doing, man? So this is my first chat, and it make me think that from now on, I might just cut off the chat. And is there a way to cut off the chat as we speak now? Because I don't think we need comments. I don't know if we need comments. We could just do our thing. What is community moderation? Live chat off. All right. How does that go right there? How's that? I think I cut the chat off. Y'all let me know. Trolls, y'all do your works right now. I think I cut the chat off. So let's have our podcast. Let's have our live stream. Let's have our Taco Tuesday. Come, stay, watch, enjoy, or do whatever you will, but be blessed. Overview of today's sitting here. We're going to talk right now and begin with Pam Bondi being grilled on Capitol Hill. Double tap, hit the like button as you come in. I know there's something wrong with the like button. Something is wrong with the like button. It's free to hit the like button. It's so free to hit the like button, but I mean, it's so effortlessly. What I'm going to tell you what to do, let's go through a little training right now. We did our station identification. Let's go through a little training right now. Double tap, hit the like button. You can double tap your cell phone. The funny thing, I know my audience skews older, so I'm trying to figure out, like, is this the older people or the younger people who don't have don't know how to hit the like button? I can't figure it out. Double tap the cell phone. Or you can hit these three little dots in the top right-hand corner. They're called an ellipsis. If you hit that ellipsis, that gives you the option to like or dislike the video. Also, at the top of your screen, you can see the thumbs up and you can see how many people are watching. If you hit that thumbs up, you also have the ability to hit the like button or dislike. You can dislike too. All of the people who don't like the podcast, all of the people who just want to come in and say, I don't like you, hit the dislike in that top left left-hand corner, because I don't know, you might not want to hit the thumbs up because you accidentally might like the video. But what can happen is you can just easily dislike it the same way because it presents you with options. So if you want to dislike the video, I should give that more detail. Some people want to dislike the video. I always give instructions on how to like the video. If you want to dislike the video and tell YouTube that you do not want to see this video on your FYP, hit those 3 ellipses and then you get both choices. Shout out to you, Double Tap. We're going over Senate hearing, Pam Bondi being grilled on Capitol Hill. Overview of the Senate hearing on October 7th, 2025. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee in a highly contentious oversight hearing chaired by Republican Senator Chuck Grassley of Ohio. The session featured sharp exchanges between Pam Bondi and Democratic senators. Pam Bondi grilled on Capitol Hill. That's the catchphrase. I would have you put it in the chat, but we shut the chat down. Ha ha! Ha ha! Pam Bondi grilled on Capitol Hill. Oh man, how does it feel? The session featured sharp exchanges between Bondi and Democrat senators who accused her of politicizing the Department of Justice, DOJ, under President Donald Trump's direction. Key flashpoints included allegations of weaponizing the DOJ against Trump political opponents. For example, indictments of former FBI Director James Comey. Let's clap it up for the James Comey indictment. It's about time. Have you guys been seeing Tucker Carlson and how he broke down? He's on series number 3 of the 9/11, and the things he's revealing. A lot of MAGA conservatives, we've been called conspiracy theorists. Some people call us preppers because I have my solar panels and all of my food packs. Everything you see on Alex Jones, I have purchased. So they've called us preppers. They called us conspiracy theories. But now all of these things are coming out. When you look at the truth about what's happening in America, I think we're being made to be truth seekers right now, and not so much these conspiracy thinkers, because the conspiracies that they said we were saying happen to be true. And that's just a fact of the matter. James Comey with the laptop, the Hillary Clinton server, clearing Hillary Clinton, and then secretly investigating Trump. That investigation, that is the footprints of Arctic Frost, another illegal investigation under Democrats. Multiple illegal investigation under Democrat political leadership is happening on Capitol Hill right now. James Comey was a politically appointed Democrat, and then he ignores the Clinton server, right? The Hillary Clinton server, and the details get pushed out, the purview, and then he secretly starts to investigate Donald Trump. Arctic Frost, they subpoena illegally to get Donald Trump's cell phone and his vice president's cell phone. Isn't it funny, as we talk about today in the political theater on Capitol Hill, and the Democrats trying to create smoke and mirrors like there's something behind Donald Trump? Do you guys understand that if James Comey or if Arctic Frost, these are 2 separate investigations spanning over 10 years. Do you know if they found anything on Trump, you would know it. I've said this from the beginning. If they can link Trump to anything, to Epstein, if they can link Trump to a Russia collusion, if they could have done it, they would have done it. They had Latia James in the SDNY. They had Fannie Willis in, in Fulton County. If they could have linked Trump, they had 10 years of investigation, secret, illegal FBI investigations of a president. If they could have found any dirt, if they could have created any dirt, you would know about it. Keep that in mind as we go forward. Please keep that in mind as we talk about their weaponizing and Trump weaponizing the DOJ, and also the chain of command. You know what's been evident to me in Chicago right now, as you see the chain of command. The same thing happened in DC. But we got it under control quickly. The same thing happened in LA, but you can tell different leadership and different leadership styles and true leaders. The problem, one of the main problems in Chicago is chain of command. When you have National Guard, when you have the feds come in, there's a hierarchy on things are supposed to work. Police are supposed to work under and with that federal component. So that's part of the chain of command that I don't see evident when I hear the mayor speak in Chicago. It's like, it's so many things you could break down about the Democrat. It's not not just the mayor creating the tension and saying push back in ICE-free zones, but it's the lack of understanding of the chain of command and the political norms that get thrown out the window by the Democrats. The Democrats want and expect these political norms, but when it comes to the Democrats administering policy, they throw out the political norms. They create new terms like sanctuary city, ICE-free zones. I read to you the definition of sanctuary city. Do you know it's not constitutional? Do you know it's not based in legality and law? It's a laughable definition. The reason sanctuary cities can't be defined legally because it doesn't have any legality. That's what it says in the definition of a sanctuary city. What is an ICE-free zone? That's what they're saying. Let's look it up right now. Let's look it up right now. What is an ICE-free zone? Because this is a new Democrat nomenclature, just like sanctuary cities that don't really exist. What is a definition? What is a definition of an ICE-free zone? When they're federal employees, there's a chain of command, there's a hierarchy. So I'm confused, Mayor and Illinois' leadership. How can you have an ICE-free zone when the president has already made a presidential decree with federal employees, National Guard, and ICE? So I don't understand an ICE-free zone when you are beneath the federal government in this type of our people. Let's read. ICE-free zone refers to a designated area where federal immigration areas are prohibited from using property for immigration enforcement operations. The term has recently been used to describe an executive order signed in Chicago, but it can also refer to broader policies concerning sensitive location. What is the legal ramifications of an ICE-free zone? Legal limitations. The implementation and enforcement of ICE-free zones may face legal challenges and are subject to debate. Why? Because there is no such thing as a sanctuary city or an ICE-free zone. Because it makes no sense in America because they're federal employees if you understand the chain of command. When the chief of police, black woman in DC, was asked about the chain of command, she had no idea. When the black female mayor of DC was asked about what is the chain of command now that the federal government has taken over policing, I'll talk to this. This is the response of your leadership. Your magical black women, they don't know the chain of command. They didn't understand the federal government comes in over you in the local in this aspect because you failed your job. Same thing in Chicago. They are failing to understand the chain of command, and they are putting citizens in the fray because they are not educating your Chicago citizens on the chain of command and what is actually taking place. The federal government is just like our favorite Law and Order SVU and Ice-T television show. When the police are investigating certain investigations, all of a sudden this big attractive person comes in with a nice suit who obviously makes more money than the police officers, and they take over the investigation. Who is that person who comes in to Law and Order SVU with the nice suit and all of the backup and say this is now our investigation? Can anybody tell me in the chat? No, the chat shut down. I'll tell you who it is. It's the FBI. The federal government comes in over local police on certain investigations and says, we're taking over this investigation. Why? Because it's so important to national security, or it's so important that it goes above the local level. We can even bring in the Diddy the double tap, hit the like button. There are 100 people in the building. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. You're not going to hear about this nowhere else. The #1 podcast about political conservatism. Double tap, hit the like button. We are talking about Pam Bondi. I'm only a bill getting grilled on Capitol Hill. Everybody at home, sing it with me right now. We talking about Pam Bondi, only a bill getting grilled on Capitol Hill. Yeah, man. And then we led off into Chicago and DC and so-called sanctuary cities and ICE-free zones. Why did we lead off into ICE-free zones and sanctuary cities, because I need to lay a foundation for the political theater, because I'm going to talk to you about the Democrats hyper-focused on Jeffrey Epstein because they don't have anything. They are hyper-focused. They are picking on Pam Bondi. These old white men are picking on a little girl. Let's just get the optics, because the Democrats don't even care about the optics of these old white rich men in the Senate, supposed to be Democrats, supposed to be on the side of the minority, supposed to be on the side of lower income, supposed to be on the side of women. Chuck Grassley, you're supposed to be with your old rich elite ass. How much is he worth? How much is Chuck Grassley worth? We looked up Nancy Pelosi, 400 million. Let's look up Chuck Grassley. I told you all the Democrats are elite. I told you all the Democrats are millionaires. I told you there's a reason why the Democrats didn't fight the big, beautiful bill. Net worth Chuck Grassley. Let's look it up right now, because it says here that high contentious oversight hearing chaired by, that's a Republican, Chuck Grassley of Ohio. We're not looking him up. Who was the guy going in on, Pam Bondi? Dick Durbin. That's what we're going to look up, Dick Durbin. You know I'm biased. We ain't looking up Chuck Grassley. Chuck Grassley, that's my boy right there. We're going to look up Dick Durbin. That's what we're going to look up. That's my boy right there. Salute to you. Salute to you. Salute to you. What's he worth? What's it? Oh, and they be high. And come on, man. What's his net worth, man? What's his net worth? They don't want to tell me Dick Durbin net worth. $10 million. Dick Durbin, $10 million, man. Up to $10 million. All the Senate Democrats, all the Democrats are elite millionaires, man. Shout out to you Dems out there, man. The Democrats be just, who's the biggest hustler in the game? Let's give it up to the biggest hustlers in the game, man. The biggest hustlers in the game, man. Shout out to the Democrat. The Democrats, man, they've been hustling America for like 50,000 years, man. Come on, man. Every Democrat is a multi-millionaire, but y'all believe the Democrats is for you. They get the tax break for the big, beautiful bill, but you believe that. Let's go here what the Democrats was talking about with Pam Bondi, man. All right, let's go, man. They said Pam Bondi is part of Trump's campaign to weaponize the DOJ, and they referred to the James Comey indictment as if James Comey don't deserve to be indicted. You know, the Hunter Biden laptop fiasco. Does anybody even recall the Hunter Biden laptop fiasco? That's James Comey. Double tap, hit the like button. What about the Hillary Clinton server? That's James Comey. What about the Russia hoax? You act like James Comey is being indicted just because Trump don't like him. We, the American people, the Democrat, Republican, MAGA, we all want to know. We deserve to know. Transparency. We want to know, James Comey, what the hell was you thinking? All we've been wanting to know since he testified. James Comey thought he was slick. We've been wanting to know since then. Why did you do that? Why did you do that with the Hunter Biden laptop? Why did you do that with the Russia collusion hoax? Why did you do that with the Hill? There's so many questions. Even if he doesn't get found guilty, there's a lot to unpack and learn about the Democrat political theater and the Democrat radical left, and how the Democrats actually are the ones who use lawfare to go after their enemies, i.e. the Russia hoax, i.e. Arctic frost, i.e. illegal FBI investigations under James Comey into Donald Trump that we all know about. We know they investigated the Trump campaign. Remember Obama? Obama was the one who started the Trump investigation because Obama was mad because Trump said that Obama was mad at Trump because Trump said, is he black? I didn't know he was black. It's okay if he's black. Shout out to Donald Trump, man. Shout out to Donald Trump. So Obama was upset with Trump And so he went on, he started the first investigation into the first Trump campaign. How many people recall that there was an investigation into the first Trump campaign? So these investigations into Trump have spanned over multiple administrations and over 10 years and haven't yielded anything, which is why I respect the president when he says Comey needs to be indicted and that the Russia collusion was a hoax. He's not just saying Russia collusion was a hoax just because it's a joke and it sounds funny and we can do our Trump hands. He's saying Russia collusion was a hoax because they had two secret investigations. FBI, they subpoenaed my phones. They secretly listened to me and my children for over 10 years and couldn't prove it. That's why Donald Trump, the president, calls it a hoax, not because Jimmy Kimmel at night can make a joke, Russian collusion, See, you don't know about Arctic Frost. You don't know about James Comey secretly subpoenaing cell phones in multiple investigations. See, there is foundation for calling it a hoax. It's a hoax because after multiple administrations, multiple FBI investigations, nothing came up. There is no proof of a Russia collusion, and it's not because of lack of investigation. They investigated their ass off, and they could not find anything on Trump. They investigated their ass off, and they couldn't find nothing. So let's keep going with the Pam Bondi on Capitol Hill getting grilled, okay? Controversial National Guard deployments to the Democratic-led cities like Chicago and Portland, where we talked about the lack of understanding of the chain of command. The reason why things are going array in these cities is there's a lack of understanding of the chain of command and what happens when the federal government comes in and takes over an investigation. Don't we all watch Law and Order SVU? What's your favorite police show? Remember New York PD? What's another one? That's a great police show. But in all these police shows, there will always be an instance where there would be somebody with more power, more authority, chain of command. It's so important that the ICE rollout, the National Guard rollout, Operation Midway Blitz. Can everybody at home, I need you to know and understand this. You're watching the #1 political conservative channel on YouTube. A lot of people talk about these issues, but they lack the facts and the knowledge. Operation Midway Blitz is what's occurring in Chicago. Write it down. Remember that when you go to your barbershop to have a debate, it's called Operation Midway Blitz when you have the National Guard in ICE. Now, one of the things that bothers me about Chicago and Portland, do you remember Chaz? Do you remember the citizens who lost their life when Portland got out of control during BLM leftist radicalization protests? Do you remember that? And they refused to let Trump bring in the National Guard. We're not going for that this time. Do you understand that you have to work with the National Guard? That you have to work, there is a chain of command in the federal government. When you watch your favorite police show, what happens when the FBI comes in? The police is always a great detective. That's why we watch the shows, right? We watch these police shows because it's a great detective. He's doing the homicide investigation, and all of a sudden, somebody comes in and steps on his toes. This is now my investigation. He goes over to the captain. He starts whining. Hey, chief, this guy just told me it's his investigation. What do you want me to do? He said, give it to him. That's the FBI. It's a chain of command. Chicago mayor, Illinois Democratic leadership. Do you understand there's a chain of command? So if the FBI comes in and there's a local police investigation and you got your best detective who can solve every murder, it doesn't matter because there's a chain of command. And when the feds come in, they take over and the locals have to help provide him an office. What happens in your favorite TV show? The local police always get pissed off because what do they tell him? Give him an office, give him people to help him. They have to help and support the new now leader of this investigation. The feds get to come into the police department. The FBI gets an office in the local police department, and you now have to work for and support that FBI investigation. That is what's supposed to happen with Operation Midway Blitz to ensure success. Do you guys remember the apartment, similar to Chicago, when Chicago was crying out for federal help. When there was a Democrat president, the chief of police in DC was crying out for federal help, just like in Oakland. Do you guys remember the Venezuelan apartment complex that was taken over in, what was it, 2023, 2024? Do y'all remember? Let's look it up. Do y'all remember the Venezuelan apartment in Chicago? Apartment complex was taken over. Was it 2022? Apartment takeover by immigrants in Chicago. Do y'all remember this? And they asked for help. And they asked for help. Oh, man. How y'all spell it? Help me out. Y'all help me out. So we looking up this apartment takeover because I want to lay a foundation for what you are seeing in Chicago and the lack of understanding of chain of command. And when Chicago, under a Democratic leadership, when we had a Democratic president, Sleepy Joe, how they begged for help. They begged for federal help. DC begged for federal help. The Tren de Aguara, TDA. This is the story. Do you guys remember the TDA, the Tren de Aguara, right? A criminal organization, Tren de Aguara, TDA, taking over and dominating apartment complexes in Chicago during 2022, 2020. They originated in Venezuelan prisons, has expanded into the U.S. amid a surge of Venezuelan migration, over 660,000 arrivals since 2021. I'm going to say this again. This is not all of the immigrants. This is just this specific gang that came here. Remember when Biden was president and Trump said they open up prisons? They opened up prisons in Venezuela and places in South America got rid of their prisoners. Do you guys remember that? You guys might not remember that as we talk about Operation Midway Blitz and why Operation Midway Blitz is absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary, and why the chain of command needs to be held tight and the local police need to support and the local citizenry need to support the National Guard and ICE agents. Let's get back to the details because that's what I do here, provide you with details. Okay? While TDA's presence in Chicago is confirmed by law enforcement, claims of full takeovers in buildings are exaggerated or unverified, fueled by viral social media and 911 audio clips. Let's go. Scale. U.S. authorities estimate Venezuelan migrants and TDA ties with active members from 2023 to 2024 in over 41 places in 2023 and 27 places in 2024. Crimes focus on SA, human sex trafficking, extortion, shootings. They are into some of the worst crimes. Venezuelan gang, TDA, the crimes focus on human and sex trafficking, extortion, shootings, and narcotics. In Chicago, a sanctuary city, remember I gave you the definition of sanctuary city, city that spent $150 million on migrant aid since 2022. Let's have a talk this morning. Let's have a real talk this morning about what is happening and why it is happening in Chicago, the way it is happening in Chicago, in LA, in all of these democratic sanctuary cities. Remember, I defined sanctuary city. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. I got ice-free zone. Let's define sanctuary city for the public. Sanctuary city, meaning, I need you to understand this. So many people claim to be about this political conversation. They're not. In North America, cities whose municipal laws tend to protect undocumented immigrants. Think about this. How? Under what constitutional right? What empowers you to do so? Listen to the definition. A cities whose municipal law is purposely saying municipal. All my Hotep people out there, y'all laughing right there. They understand what is it? Common law, maritime law. A lot of, there is a reason why we don't have Hotep anymore. I don't think they wanted the citizens to be actually educated. And with Hotep, black and whites were being educated when you learned about common law, maritime law. Now listen to this sentence, and everybody out there who has been educated on common law and maritime law, listen to the definition of sanctuary city. A city whose municipal laws. Anybody want to look that up? We're not going to do that right now, but I just wanted to give a little tangent. Common law, maritime law, municipal laws tend to protect. This is powerful. This is powerful English. This is powerful podcasting right now. This is powerful political theater and language. When I talk to you about think tanks, when I talk to you about sandbagging, when I talk to you about political theater, you must understand you got to do your homework. You got to go to school. You got shout out to FYBJ, man. Cities whose municipal laws tend, listen to what I'm saying here, tend to protect undocumented immigrants. Not always, not verbatim, because they can't say that, because they don't have any constitutional or legality to say that. So they say tend, right? Because you can't ask your police officers to impose sanctuary city regulations because that is not constitutional, and police officers are sworn. So what are you telling police officers in sanctuary cities, Democrat leadership? Can we have a real talk this morning? I just want to have a real talk this morning. Don't you want to have a real talk and a real understanding how difficult it is to be a police officer in a sanctuary city when you have sworn? Do you know police officers swear? You swear on the Bible. What about the judges who get sworn in? How do they implement municipal laws to protect undocumented? How? It's against the Constitution. Why you don't explain that to people, and why we're having the upheaval in Chicago? Because people might wonder, well, why don't the people, what's the problem in Chicago? We know about the immigration. I just read to you about the Venezuelan gang, 700,000 members, narcotics, extortion, sex trafficking. We knew this already. They took over an apartment complex in Chicago, kicked out all the black people. Do y'all remember when the Venezuelan gang took over an apartment complex in Chicago and kicked out all the black people? Now the federal government, ICE, and National Guard show up to get Trinidad Guagua, the Venezuelan narcotic cartel gang, out of America for you black people, and nobody, and the black people is getting in the way. This is the definition of an in the way as person, because the black people are getting in the way. I thought you just begged for help. You just begged for help. You were begging when the Venezuelan gangs came. It says in 2022, TDA's U.S. expansion began with border crossings. I can't make this up. This is why we voted for Donald Trump, and not just Democrats, not just Republicans, but Democrats too. This is the truth, man. Across the board, men, women, Latinos. Did you see the numbers of Latinos who voted for Trump in the last election? Let me continue. This might illuminate why. The TDA, that is an acronym for Trinidad de Agua, the Venezuelan gang cartel that kidnaps and kills people and sell drugs. Their U.S. expansion began with the border crossings. And remember what we said, that the Venezuelan politicians opened up the prison for the criminals to come here. They wasn't the only country that did that. Remember Donald Trump said that? Donald Trump said they're opening up prisons. We're not getting the best people, right? Biden opened the border, and what did they do in South America? They opened the prisons. They sent us the criminals. I said that. I said Mexico has one of the most highest skilled factory workers. I said some of the most advanced factories are in South America. Did you know that? Did you know some of the most skilled factory workers are in Latin America? And some of the most highly skilled factories, your BMW, your Mercedes, are made in Mexico. Computers and microchips. We're leading from behind. Thank God for the tariffs and the trade. But did you know that we didn't get those people? We didn't get the best that South America had to offer. You didn't know that? They opened up prisons. They opened up prisons. Remember, Trump and MAGA told you. Let me go back to my facts. TDA U.S. expansion began with border crossings, but not documented apartment takeovers in Chicago. Early arrests include unrelated Venezuelan migrants. TDA ties emerged later. Chicago saw initial Venezuelan arrivals, 5,000 by late 2022. This is the fact. ICE data shows ICE data shows the first TDA-linked border encounters in late 2022. There you go. These are the facts on the ground. TDA members identified in Chicago's migrant shelters in low-income apartments. July, TDA entered illegally, later investigated for Little Italy drive-by shooting near apartments. TDA entered apartments illegally, right? And later investigated for Little Italy drive-by shooting near apartments. Reports of TDA overtaking buildings via extortion and threats, clashing with local gangs like in Inglewood. Anybody familiar with Chicago and Inglewood? I'm going to read that again. Reports of TDA overtaking buildings via extortion and threats, clashing with local gangs like in Inglewood. But we all saw it. I'm reading it to you, but I'm just reminding you, this should be jogging your memory. We saw it. It was on national news. We couldn't believe it. Biden didn't do shit. We saw when Biden opened the border. This happened in Denver, Colorado. I'm gonna look it up. Didn't this happen in Denver too? Didn't Denver experience this too? Oh man, come on, man. They playing with me out here. Didn't Denver have this too? I remember Denver and Colorado dealing with these same things and these same gangs, and everybody crying out for help. In Aurora, remember Aurora Apartments in 2023. I didn't even put that much information. I can't even spell. I'm dyslexic. All I put in is Denver. I spelled Denver with a B. I said, did Denver have and look what it came up with. I didn't even spell Denver correctly, and look what it came up with. Aurora Apartments. Does anybody remember the Aurora? I remember both. I remember Chicago apartments taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Chicago begging for federal help because the local police should not have to deal with criminals on this level. Typically, they would be dealt with by the feds or by ICE and immigration. Do you guys remember that? I remember when the Trinidad gang came to Chicago, took over apartments with extortion, and then you saw people on the news asking for help from the federal government. But nothing ever came until Trump and Midway Blitz. Can we be honest? Let's be honest. And let's look at Aurora. Let's look at Aurora, Colorado apartments. Yes, the Denver metro area, specifically Aurora, a suburb of Denver, experienced highly publicized TDA takeovers of apartment complexes, mirroring Chicago reports, and gaining national attention due to viral videos. These claims emerged prominently in 2023 and 2024 amid Colorado's migrant influx, over 40,000 arrivals since 2022. We're not being honest about what's going on in American cities. This is the similar to Brexit. This is similar to Tommy Robinson's argument for Brexit and what's happening in Britain. And places like Switzerland that don't look like Switzerland anymore, places that do not no longer reflect Europe and the EU culture because of mass immigration. What happens when you have a small suburb, a small niche community, and you have over 40,000 immigrants at once? It changes the culture. It changes what it looks like visibly. This is what's going on, and this is why the argument is for Brexit. Because there's no stopping the immigration. The immigration has gotten to the point where it's changing culture, changing policy, and the UK and the Britons are saying we're tired of it. This is Austria. This is Switzerland. This is Iceland. It's not West Africa. It is no longer looking like Switzerland. It's no longer feeling like Switzerland. The policies, the people. It now looks like a West African country. Can we talk about it? Are we just going to continue to let the Democrats paint the conversation and couch the conversation in racism so we never be having an honest talk? Can we have an honest talk? Are Switzerland, are the Swiss able to maintain culture? Or is it racist? Is it racist for the people in Switzerland to say that the country no longer looks like Switzerland? It's starting to reflect a North African country because of immigration. Is that fair or is that racist? Do we even get to have the conversation? Because I think it's problematic when we ignore how the individual Switzerland individuals feel about it, right? And we tell them this is what the Democrats did with the bathrooms, with Title IX, with LGBT clothes and Bud Light. We tell Swiss people that if you don't agree with the overpopulation of the Africans and the changing of demographics, that you're racist. That's what we say. We never listen to the Swiss. We never listen to British. We never listen to them, the actual people who live there, who actually built the country, who speak the language, who live out the culture. No, instead you tell them, if you don't like the immigration and you don't like the color of the people coming here, it must be because you're racist because of their color. And no one ever listens. I think that's problematic. And I think we're seeing that play out now. You see that play out with the Azov Battalion. You see that play out in Austria with the young people in that movement I talked about with the You Will Not Replace Me. La Replacement is the book. It was written by Austrian, but it's traveled around Europe. You heard about this similar argument with the guy who shot up the supermarket because they don't feel like they're listened to, but it started over in Europe. It started as part of Brexit. It started as an Austrian who wrote the book La Replacement. There's a young political group from Austria. They've linked up with people from Switzerland to express the fact that no one is listening to them. And they are the people who live there. Their grandparents live there, about how they feel about the complexity of their country changing without their voting or no one asking them. What happens in Aurora, Denver, what happens in Aurora, Colorado when you have 40,000 TDA Venezuelan gang members come into a suburban community all at once? Let's have a talk about it. What do you think happens? And how do you fix that? Is that a local police problem? Can local police, and we know what happened to police after Black Lives Matter and defund the police protests. We know that police departments nationwide have been affected by defund the Police Reform Act, and Black Lives Matter rhetoric, where police departments find it almost impossible to recruit new, young, agile police officers. They have an antiquated, dying police force, and they're overpaying on overtime, bankrupting cities. So is it up to the police to deal with 40,000 arrivals since 2022? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm in Aurora and I have this, I want the police to protect me. Hello, I'm a citizen of America. I pay taxes. I want the police to protect me. But what do they do when you have 40,000 hardened criminals coming into your area? This is just the math of what's on the ground. 40,000 arrivals since 2022, with Denver spending over $100 million on shelter. So Denver spent $100 million during the Biden administration. Biden threw money at it. Can we have a real talk this morning? What do you want to do? Because that didn't work. Biden and the Democrats tried to spend their way out of this immigration problem. Trump has Operation Midway Blitz. Which one do you think is going to be more successful? We've seen what happened in Chicago. I voted for Trump MAGA. I'm with Operation Midway Blitz. Maybe I'm with Doge and Elon Musk, stopping the money, stopping the thousands of dollars in food stamps, stopping the thousands of dollars in hotel. It says $100 million on shelter and food, $150 million in Chicago. That's just one city. How much money was spent nationwide on this border czar debacle, where she's not the border czar and she's not black, but maybe she is black, blackity black, she's black like your mama, but then she's South Asian, now she's black. Barack Obama's black, but he's not black. His grandmama white, he's proud of his white grandmama. His white grandmama raised him, his white grandmama ran the bank. He tells a story about his grandmama who happened to be white, who started at the bank and she became a bank president, and that white grandmama left Barack Obama $400,000. We never hear about nobody black connected to Barack Obama. We hear about white. Barack Obama black. It's okay if Barack Obama is black. It's okay if Kamala Harris is black. I didn't know they was black. It's okay. $150 million on immigration in Chicago. $100 million on sheltering in Aurora, Colorado. How much was being spent in New York? Remember when Elon Musk stopped the $1 million payment to the hotels in New York? So we could potentially intimate that over $100 million was spent in New York. Probably more, because New York is more expensive, right? So we got $100 million in Aurora, $150 million in Chicago, another $100 million plus in New York on this expansion of America that did not benefit you. Turns out that a lot of the people that came here actually were part of a Venezuelan gang, TDA. Did you know all of this? I hope you knew all of this stuff before we go into Pam Bondi. And they grilled Pam Bondi on Capitol Hill about ICE, about Portland, and they don't be honest about Chaz. Who remembers Chaz? Does anybody remember Chaz? Does anybody read the Portland homicide rates and the uptick in Portland homicide? Can you talk about uptick in homicide in Portland in 2022, 2023, 2024? Can we talk about the uptick in homicide? Can we talk about that? Portland experienced a dramatic surge in homicides starting in 2020. Can we have a real talk? I don't know if anybody knows about this. I don't know if anybody knows about this, because the Democratic media don't give you facts, man. I think the Democrat media just wants you upset. Can we have a talk? You should recall Aurora, Denver. There were viral TikTok videos about the Venezuelan gangs in Aurora, Colorado. There were viral TikTok videos about the Venezuelan gangs in Chicago. So I should not be surprising anyone. Now let's go back. Now this is a little known fact. That was on viral. Both of those cities, both of what I've just discussed was viral on TikTok and social media. No one can deny the Trente Guagua gang presence in Chicago and Aurora. That's documented. That's not up for conjecture. But this is a little known fact as we talk about the Portland ICE Portland ICE rollout and National Guard rollout in Portland, Oregon. Listen to these facts just in case you didn't know. Portland experienced a dramatic surge in homicides starting in 2020 amid the COVID-19 pandemic, peaking in 2022 before beginning a decline. While there was a clear uptick from pre-pandemic levels, averaging 26 homicides annually from 2016 to 2019, the trend reversed post. I want to know how many though. Due to targeted interventions like Portland ceasefire program. I don't believe that. We got that in Sacramento. It didn't work. So by record, the 2022's record high, though still elevated compared to historical norms, 3 to 4 times the 2010 baseline. Most homicides, 80 to 90%, involve firearms, often tied to gang retaliations, drug disputes, and unsheltered communities. We're talking about the immigrants, baby. We're talking about the immigrants. So total homicides in 2022 was 101, record high. 1,300 shootings overall, up slightly from 2021. A rate 15%, 100,000 residents. Monthly average 8 deaths. Monthly average 8 deaths. So what you have in Portland, when you talk about ICE and National Guard going to Portland, we have a new Portland. We have a post-pandemic, we have a post-BLM Portland that's filled with homicide and gangs and violence. And a lot of you didn't know about these drastic upticks. 22 to 24% in the uptick. It's just so 400 to 500% over baseline. They hide the data right here, but Portland's was steeper. The spike wasn't unique to Portland. City saw a 30% national homicide increase, right? 2019, 2021, but Portland's was steeper, 400 to 500% over baseline. Y'all, how many people are terrified to live in America under the last administration? We're talking, this is what it was like. Like people want to say a lot right now. Oh, you should have voted for Kamala. You think you don't like what it's like now. No, we love it now. We love it now. Do you understand? We love it now. I don't understand when people are trying to get you mad or scared about Trump being president. Do you know we love it now? We actually love it now. Why do we love it now? Because we can walk around DC. We can drive around Chocolate City with our windows down. In Portland, Oregon, we're talking about homicide rates up 400 and 500% during the Biden administration. We're talking about crime running rampant in Chicago, the murder rate. We're talking about King Von, Chicago. We're talking about Chocolate City and Washington, D.C., 30 hoodlum of single-parent homes running around Capitol Mall. We're happy now. We were terrified under the Democrats. We had to worry about getting robbed, getting mugged, and we also had to worry about World War Nuclear 3 because Biden and kept saying that Putin wanted to start the Cold War. Biden is 85 fucking years old. Biden is from a fucking old, antiquated dinosaur time talking about the fucking Cold War that's been over 50 fucking years. No way did Putin want to start the Cold fucking War. Putin never mentioned the Cold fucking War, but fucking Biden wants to talk about the Cold War, and he started the damn conflict with the Ukraine, and we were all scared of World War III. Not only were we scared to go to Aurora, Colorado, LA told us to check in. Do you remember all of the deaths? There was a real conversation. No one wanted to go to Disneyland during the Biden administration because the gang violence in LA. Now you got a 60-person Crip indictment in LA. Why? Because they want to bring back tourism. LA needs the tourism. But what happened with the tourism in LA? We stopped going to LA because they kept being murder after murder after murder, robbery, homicide after robbery, homicide. And the criminals in LA said you had to check in. People were getting beat up and robbed at the airport. Yes, we're happy that Trump is president. No, I never would go back. No, I would never vote for Kamala because you would continually have this uptick of homicide and gang violence under the Democrats because the Democrats use crime and gangs and violence to get views, clicks, and votes, and that's how they stay in power. Oh, you got to vote for me. You got to vote for me because we're hard on crime. How about we get rid of crime like Trump did in D.C.? How about Americans don't want crime? How about I don't want you to be hard on crime, Democrats? How about I don't want you to be hard on crime, Democrats? How about I don't want you to continue to lock up black men and say you for minorities, Democrats, with your crime bills? How about you just get rid of crime like Trump did in D.C.? No, we don't want to go back. No, I don't believe you when you say that we're sad that Trump is president. I promise you, the people in Portland, I promise you, the people who experience these upticks in homicide and violence are not sad that Trump is president. No, no, no. I promise you. Let's keep going. Let's keep going with Pam Bondi. overview of Senate hearing. The hearing, Bondi's first major congressional appearance, and the Democrats want to pick on her. The Democrat, old, rich, white men picking on this young, beautiful, intelligent lady. Let's get the optics right. Let's get the optics right. These are old, rich, white men who are supposedly supposed to be for women and minorities picking on Pam Bondi. The hearing, Bondi's first major congressional appearance since 2025, lasted several hours and drew bipartisan criticism. They got criticized by their own Democrats on the Epstein issue. Though Republicans largely defended her on other matters, Bondi frequently deflected questions, invoking ongoing investigations or personal attacks on questionnaires, which amplify accusations of cover-up. The Supreme Court rejection of Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal of her 2022 sex trafficking conviction to sentencing her to 20 years the day prior added urgency to demands for transparency. So just yesterday, Ghislaine Maxwell lost her appeal to the Supreme Court. Ain't that something? Oh man. So they are using that as fuel. So just yesterday, Ghislaine Maxwell lost her appeal to the Supreme Court. Dick Durbin, Democrat from Illinois, referenced the July 2025 DOJ memo lacking a signature on Epstein's suicide ruling and pressed Bondi on reports of internal order to FBI agents to flag records mentioning Trump. Who gave the order to flag records related to President Trump? To flag any records which included his name, Durbin asked. Bondi responded defiantly, "I'm not going to discuss anything about that with you, Senator." Go ahead, Pam Bondi. Go ahead. He also grilled her on the February client list. I exposed, so did Wendy Webb, that the client list and the black book already came out in the 2009 investigation. In 2015 was printed in Gawker, and it was used again in the the last investigation. So the black book was created by his secretary. The black book was trying to be sold by his janitor. The FBI arrested him, confiscated the black book. We have a list of names. We've had it for over 10 years. This is more political theater. When they talk about a client list, we've had the black book and it's been used in the prosecution, which is why Jeffrey Epstein was found guilty twice. How did we find him guilty? Because we have the client list. We have the airplane list. We know the flight logs. That's all been printed by Whitney Webb in two epilogical saga books that she wrote. We have the flight list. We have the client list. We have the black book. We have it all. We do. I promise you. But they just don't. The Democrats don't have anything, so they continue to lie to you. Client list comment on why no documents have been released despite earlier promises. Sheldon Whitehouse, Democrat of Rhode Island, asked directly if the FBI possesses photos of Epstein safe showing Trump with blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read that. Bondi went non-responsive, then counterattacked by questioning White House post-campaign donations from an Epstein-linked donor, refusing to confirm or deny the existence of such. You messing with a lawyer, baby. You messing with a lawyer, baby. Bondi countered. You know what I'm saying? Saying that you better be careful because you already got some questionable donations in your political foundation. Go ahead, Pam Bondi. Go ahead, Pam Bondi. I'm so proud of you, boy. You've been kicking butt today, man. Pam Bondi, you've been kicking butt today, man. Proud of you, man. MAGA is proud of you. Doing a great job. I'm going to bring up some video of Pam Bondi doing her 1-2. I'm going to bring up some video of Pam Bondi doing her 1-2. Who the hell is that? Who the hell is that? Bring up Pam Bondi doing her 1-2. And the Senate Democrats acting like little kids. You know what I'm saying? Senate Democrats acting like little kids. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it going here. Y'all want to see some of this? Let's check out some of these Senate Democrats, man. Why is it not playing? It's not playing, man. I don't know why it's not playing. What's up? Oh, man. How's everybody doing this morning, man? Taco Macho Wacho Tuesday. Great Taco Tuesday. We having a great one right now. We really are having a great one right now. What's up with my volume? I'm not getting no volume over here. What's up with that? Man. What's up with that, y'all? How y'all doing, man? I'm trying to bring up some video for us, but my audio is out. Oh, okay. Let's see. Hold on.
Senator Klobuchar, I'm not going to discuss personnel decisions, but the personnel issue that I'm having right now is that all of my agents, all of my lawyers are working. My agents are on the street working without a paycheck because your party voted to shut down the federal government.
Go ahead, girl.
Senator Klobuchar, I'm not going to discuss personnel decisions, but the personnel issue that I'm having right now is that all of my agents, all of my lawyers are working. My agents are on the street working without a paycheck because your party voted to shut down the federal government.
I love it. Go ahead, Pam Bondi. I'm not going to talk to you about Epstein, but I'm going to talk to you about this shutdown. Go ahead, Pam Bondi.
The Justice Department to drop that lawsuit. It was dismissed, so it's not subject to a court review. What conversation did you have with Mr. Ballard?
Senator Blumenthal, I cannot believe that you would accuse me of impropriety when you lied about your military service.
I am not
you
asking
lied. You
you.
admitted you lied.
Woo! Pam Bondi kicking butt. Woo! Oh my God! What a great day! What a great day for MAGA! Whoa! Trump did it again. What a great appointee. You can't train this, Trump. You can't train this. Oh, Pam Bondi. Whoa, that tiger. Whoa, that tiger. One more time, Miss Bondi. Let him have it, Miss Bondi.
I do have a question. In the merger that took place.
Which merger? You've listed many.
Involving American Express.
Which merger?
I understand that Brian Ballard, longtime backer and head of the law firm where you work, was instrumental in lobbying the Justice Department to drop that lawsuit. It was dismissed, so it's not subject to a court review. What conversation did you have with Mr. Ballard?
Senator Blumenthal, I cannot believe that you would accuse me of impropriety when you lied about your military service.
I am
you
not
lied.
asking
You admitted you
I am
lied
not
to be
accusing
elected a
you of
U.S. senator.
impropriety.
You
I'm asking
lied.
you
How
about
dare you? I'm a
conversations
career prosecutor.
with Mr.
Don't you
Ballard,
ever challenge my integrity.
I'm a career prosecutor. Don't you ever challenge my authority. What? Pam Bondi? Go ahead. Oh my God, I love her. I am a career prosecutor. Come on now. Let me get my 1-2 on. I'm a career prosecutor. Shout out to Pam Bondi. I am a career prosecutor. Don't you ever challenge my integrity. Pam Bondi kicking major butt on Capitol Hill.
Attorney General Bondi, you are the Attorney General of the United States. Director Patel reports to you. Do you believe he's doing a good job, yes or no?
I believe Director Patel is doing a great job. You know where he is right now, Senator Padilla? Right now, you asked me a question.
Yes,
Director
I know
Patel
where he
right
is,
now
and I know where
is
he's
in Chicago,
headed. You said it
Senator
earlier
Durbin,
in the hearing.
fighting to keep
You said it
Chicago
earlier in the hearing, and yes, I have been paying
He's
attention.
in Chicago.
Order in here
He's in Chicago. Let's go, baby.
now, yet you stormed the Director of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. You sure didn't have order that day, did you, Senator?
Attorney General, you are under oath. I did not storm the secretary, the video.
Oh, that was
makes
on
very
video. That
clear.
video has been released, I believe, very publicly.
Mr. Chairman.
Woo! Let's go, baby! Pam Bondi kicking butt on Capitol Hill, baby. We saw the video. We saw the video, Senator. You did storm that. Come on now. We saw the video, and there's a commercial in California. The video is in a commercial in California. Please stop, Democrats, with the fabrication. Shout out to Pam Bondi.
Recent actions raise serious concerns about Director Patel's judgment and politicization, including lawsuits from former FBI officials alleging retaliatory firings, and his decision to cut off longstanding partnerships with civil rights organizations, and his decision to fire an FBI agent for refusing to engage in a, quote, perp walk of James Comey. And on top of all that, his prematurely claiming that subjects were in custody after the shooting of Charlie Kirk. I take Attorney General Bondi's endorsement today of his work as her support for those actions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
May I respond, Senator Chairman?
Yes. Where are you going?
Under Director Patel, 23,000 violent criminals have been arrested, a 91% increase over last year.
All right.
More than 1,500 child predators have been arrested.
All right.
We are making cases in your jurisdiction constantly.
In 6 months? In 6 months. So Patel got this done in 6 months? These are the numbers in 6 months. Trump ain't been president even a year yet. Patel ain't been in office a year yet. Let's keep going, Pam Bondi.
In California, and I wish you would care about those cases. We have disrupted 1,600 gangs and criminal enterprises, 1,600 gangs within this country, thanks to Director Patel and the great men and women of the FBI.
Senator Schmidt. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. How are you today, Attorney General? It's good to see you.
I have a rough voice.
I have to say, it is.
Good job. Pam Bondi, you're doing a great job, man. Shout out to Pam Bondi. Doing a great job on Capitol Hill. So proud. Making MAGA proud.
I do have a question.
Making MAGA proud. Let's go. Let's get some more video.
You voted to shut down the government.
The word is, and I think it's been confirmed by the White House, they are going to transfer Texas National Guard units to the state of Illinois. What's the rationale for that?
Yeah, Chairman, as you shut down.
We just talked about Trinidad, TDA, Venezuelan gangs taking over Chicago apartment complexes with extortion. I just told you what is the foundation for that? What about Aurora, Colorado, where Venezuelan gangs took over apartment complexes there? 40,000 Venezuelans came into Aurora, Colorado. We talked about 5,000. Come on, man. Y'all act like it's like they woke up today. I woke up like this. The Democrats, every day, Beyonce Democrats, I woke up like this. Y'all forgot about the immigration. Y'all forgot about Trinidad. Y'all forgot about the Venezuelan criminals. The extortion. You forgot about the American citizens crying, getting kicked out of their apartment complexes illegally, and Biden did nothing. Venezuelan gangs kicked blacks out of apartments in Chicago, and nobody did shit. Hello.
Down the government. You voted to shut down the government, and you're sitting here. Our law enforcement officers aren't being paid. They're out there working to protect you. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump. And the National Guard are on the way to Chicago. If you're not going to protect your citizens, President Trump will.
Woo! Woo! Let's hear that one more time. The National Guard and ICE is in Chicago protecting you from the Venezuelan gangs, and they not getting paid. I said they not getting paid.
The government. You voted to shut down the government. And you're sitting here, our law enforcement officers aren't being paid. They're out there working to protect you. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump. And currently, the National Guard are on the way to Chicago. If you're not going to protect your citizens, President Trump will.
The word is, and I think.
Oh my God! You can't make this. I mean, it's up. I wish Trump could run again. I mean, because this is the greatest campaign. I mean, this is like campaign. Oh my God. How many MAGA ads could you run? Pam Bondi for president. Pam Bondi for president. Pam Bondi 2028. Oh, Pam Bondi. God, dog, I'm glazing. I'm just look at me. I can't help it. I'm so giddy. I'm so excited. Oh, win. Tomorrow's Wednesday. All we do is win Wednesday. It's Taco Tuesday. I mean, I'm just so excited. It's National Taco Tuesday. Pam Bondi. Oh my God. Pam Bondi. That was an amazing performance. How could I've been doing AI. How could the AI not, how could the AI not document that? How could AI not document how well Pam Bondi did under Senate grilling? They documented Pam Bondi got grilled, but they didn't say that Pam Bondi barbecued Senate Democrats. Pam Bondi has barbecued Senate Democrats. These old white men look like fools. These old white men look like fools. And I just love it. I love
Tom
it.
Homan was videotaped taking a bag with $50,000 in cash from undercover FBI agents after suggesting he could help with government contracts. Sounds like a bribe. 2 weeks ago, DOJ officials reportedly shut down the bribery investigation into Mr. Homan. Ms. Bondi, did you approve closing the Homan investigation?
Who wrote that question? She can't even read the question. Do you even understand what you're asking? Just hold on. Before we let Pam Bondi, hold on. Before I let Pam Bondi question, two things that you should know out there. Who wrote that question? And does the person asking it truly understand what they're asking? Because she couldn't even read it correctly, right? This is a sad day for the Democrats. Let's get back to Pam Bondi slam dunking all over the Democrats on Capitol Hill. It's only a bill.
As I stated earlier, the Department of Justice and the FBI conducted a thorough review, and they found no credible evidence of any wrongdoing. You were also on video outside the White House protesting with a group called CASA, where Antifa members were. Does that mean you're a member of Antifa?
You know, I think ask the question as to whether or not you.
Does that mean you're a member of Antifa? I love it. Look how she looks. She got all upset. She got all, don't get mad. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. What's good for the goose? It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. This Pam Bondi today. This is a great meme right here. I like this. I like this. This is Pam Bondi today right here. This Pam Bondi in the Senate. Yeah, man. I like that. Now go ahead. Pam Bondi, man. Pam Bondi, man. Pam Bondi was Super Saiyan. You know what I'm saying? Pam Bondi did her big one, man. Pam Bondi, she reached what level? I'm not a gamer. Somebody help me in the chat. What's a good gamer? $2 super chat for Mrs. Perfect Timing, man. That's the first super chat of the day. Thank you. And we got a 15 super chat goal. Don't worry, you can still super chat right now. Trying to get the phone to stay still. The phone won't stay still. I don't know why. The phone won't stay still. I ain't did nothing to your phone. Phone getting upset. Phone getting upset. Come on, phone. Come on, phone. Come on, phone. Okay, Pam Bondi did a great job, y'all. I know I made you wait, but it was worth the wait. It was worth the wait, man. It was worth the wait. I made you wait, but it was worth the wait, man. Pam Bondi did a great job. Now we're going to get into Candace Owens. And new revelations from Candace Owens, from Charlie Kirk. You know, yesterday, I talked a lot about We talked about Charlie Kirk yesterday, and we talked about, I want to say, I felt like Candace Owens, again, was following my content. A lot of times, I feel like Candace Owens, I follow her content. But a lot of times, yesterday, I feel like she mirrored my content. When we discussed the Green Beret and the red flags. So today, we're going to discuss what she discussed, and that was text messages that she revealed. So Candace Owens releases alleged Charlie Kirk texts on donor pressure before assassination. So this is to support a different narrative, right? So we're counter narrative here. We discuss counter narrative talking points. And one of the things that Candace Owens has been great about bringing out is counter narrative to TPUSA and to the liberal media on what Charlie Kirk's death, the cause of Charlie Kirk's death, and who's responsible for Charlie Kirk's death. And I'm so we've been following that. And basically what she said from the beginning is that Charlie Kirk was under pressure, right? And he was being pressured by his donors. She spoke about a Hamptons weekend retreat. She spoke about that initially, where she had firsthand knowledge that Charlie was being pressured at this Hamptons event. And she got a lot of pushback. She was called names. She called a liar, said that she didn't know Charlie, that she hadn't talked to him in 10 years, and she debunked all of that. She showed her on stage with Charlie recently. They were going on tour, and she's been focusing on the investigation, but I think something prompted her to focus on proving the fact that, number one, that was her best friend, and that he was under something that he termed moral blackmail. Jason Gillian. So let's listen. Conservative commentator Candace Owens shares screenshots of purported private messages from Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, sent 2 days before his September 10th assassination at Utah Valley University. The text revealed Kirk's frustration over losing a $2 million annual donor for refusing to disinvite Tucker Carlson from events, leading him to state he would abandon the position of the donor. And Turning Point USA has not verified the messages' authenticity amid ongoing FBI investigation into Kirk's death and tensions in conservative circles over Kirk's support of this government that we're not going to mention. So I got some video, but I want to read some more. Let me read some more details about this. Candace Owens, a prominent conservative commentator, has publicly shared screenshots of alleged text messages from Charlie Kirk, the late founder of Turning Point USA, claiming that they revealed Kirk felt pressure and blackmail by a pro-lobby and donors and figures due to his evolving views on certain issues that are sensitive right now, which is why we don't say that name. This stems from Kirk's assassination on September 10th, 2025 at Utah University, which has fueled widespread conspiracy theories, particularly among far-right and anti-circles, right? Owens has tied these claims to broader allegations of influence from this foreign entity in U.S. conservative politics, including a supposed $150 million funding offer from this foreign entity's prime minister that Kirk rejected. The text shared by Owens on October 6, 2025 purportedly show Kirk venting frustrations about losing major donors from this foreign entity. For example, $2 million annually for refusing to disinvite critics like Tucker Carlson from the TPUSA events. Kirk allegedly wrote, "This foreign entity donor play into all stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave this foreign entity's pro cause. Owens frames this as evidence of Kirk's change of heart on this foreign entity's tactics, linking it to an intervention at the Hamptons hosted by a billionaire who represents this foreign entity in August, involving pro-foreign entity influencers like Seth Dillon, Josh Hammer, and a phone call from the prime minister of this foreign entity. Key claims and evidence from Owens. Pressure and blackmail. Owens alleges Kirk was offered a massive funding to align more closely with pro-foreign entity stances, but felt coerced when he declined. She claims attendees at the Hamptons meeting hammered Kirk over inviting foreign entity critics like Carlson and comedian Dave Smith to TPUSA events. The prime minister of this foreign entity's involvement. Owens says the prime minister personally called Kirk during the meeting, inviting him to visit this foreign country amid the pressure. She also references a rejected $150 million anti-Carlson campaign fund from this foreign entity. Kirk's letter to the prime minister. Owens has highlighted a 7-page letter Kirk sent to the prime minister shortly before his death, warning that this foreign entity was losing the information war and getting crushed in public opinion due to the social media strategy. The letter offered recommendations, but started with Kirk affirming his Christian advocacy for this foreign entity's ability to exist. Context. Owens argues the prime minister misrepresented to portray Kirk as unwaveringly pro this foreign entity. Now, responses and denials. Now, listen to TPA. So people want to know, has TPUSA confirmed the text messages? TPUSA confirmation. On October 7, 2025, TPUSA executive producer October 7, 2025, TPUSA executive producer Andrew Kovic confirmed the text messages authenticity of. So he confirmed the text messages are authentic in interviews, stating Kirk was not someone who could be controlled and retaining the letter's existence. So the letter exists. That was my first question. Does the letter really exist? Does the letter really exist? And now we have confirmation that the letter exists, and we got confirmation from TPUSA spokesperson Andrew Kovic. We know Andrew Kovic is a spokesperson from the Man of Steel comments, right? We know him from the Man of Steel comments, right? So October 7th, TPUSA executive producer Andrew Kovic, who released a statement that he spoke with the examiner and the autopsy report, and he is the only one putting out that the bullet is lodged in Charlie Kirk's neck. Andrew Kovic is the person who has put out against FBI investigation. We don't know. Remember, there was a question if an autopsy was even done, right? There's still a question if an autopsy was even done. Andrew Kovic, executive producer, Turning Point spokesperson, put out a paragraph saying he spoke with the surgeon and he looked at the autopsy report. He said he personally he said he personally gave a statement that the surgeon said Charlie Kirk's bones were like the Man of Steel, and Charlie Kirk saved the people behind him, and that the bullet is lodged in his neck. Now, Andrew Kovic, Turning Point USA spokesperson, is the only one saying this. There is no medical confirmation. There is no law enforcement confirmation. The only person saying that Charlie Kirk's bullet is lodged in his neck and that it was stopped by his bone is Andrew Kovic of TPUSA. Just to remind you who he is. Okay. Executive producer Andrew Kovic confirmed that the text messages were authentic in interviews, stating Kirk was not someone who could be controlled, and that reiterating that the letter's existence. However, Kovic emphasizes Kirk's independence and dismissed broader conspiracy ties to his death. Foreign entity donor. Vehemently denied blackmail, sharing friendly texts with Kirk, for example, inviting him to dinner to counter Owens' narrative. He called her claims slanderous and accused her of monetizing Kirk's death. This is from the foreign entity donor, right? The prime minister of this foreign entity. The prime minister released a video denouncing links to Kirk's murder as insane and outrageous, quoting Nazi propagandist Joseph Goebbels on Big Lies. He selectively quoted Kirk's letter to affirm his pro-foreign entity stance, prompting Owens to demand a full release of the letter, which occurred via the New York Post on September 30th, 2025, partially vindicating her on context but not on coercion emails, which is why she released the text message that she released today. Because they're saying that when the letter was released by Newsweek, by New York Post, that vindicated Candace Owens, right? Kirk's team and allies. COVID earlier debunked Owens' intervention as anti-foreign entity conspiracy, noting Kirk's positive relationship with that foreign donor. Some conservatives, like pro-foreign entity activist Gideon Askowitz, called the full letter a damning indictment of Owens' narrative. But we disagree here. Broader context and substantiation. This fuel highlights deepening rifts in MAGA circles over this foreign entity, exacerbated by the Gaza war. Kirk had invited the foreign entity critics to TPUSA events, drawing donor backlash, but his public record remained largely pro-foreign entity, thus the letter. Owens, who left TPS USA in 2019, has shifted pro-Palestine, has faced accusation of opportunism from figures like Eric Bolin, who said their friendship faded as her theories got too down the rabbit holes. Independent verification, thank God Candace did. Thank God for Blexit. Independent verification of text, full context is limited, but TPS USA recent admission lends partial credibility to Owens' release. What else we got? We got some video. I like this person video. This was pretty good, capturing the Candace Owens stuff.
Wow, we now have actual proof that Charlie Kirk was indeed abandoning the pro-Israel cause right before he was assassinated. Charlie just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year, because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking about inviting Candace. Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. These texts were sent 48 hours before he died. Like, we all thought this was very weird. We just didn't have the proof. I mean, a mural of Charlie Kirk painted in one day in Tel Aviv? Come on. Also, is it not kind of weird that Erica Kirk and the rest of Turning Point USA has all moved on from this? Okay, Candace Owens is the only person, somehow the only person, who still cares about trying to find out the truth about what happened to Charlie Kirk. Not his wife, not his company, Candace Owens. Kudos to her.
These are the release texts, baby. Those are the release text messages. What else we got? I just showed the text messages. You know, I talked about this guy the other day. This will be my last video. This gonna be.
So I did it. The past 3 days, man, I've been sitting around just listening to this guy, Charlie Kirk's message, because every single place that I hear, especially from black people, is that this man was a racist. And I'm putting this on everything, man. You guys need to be ashamed of yourself. To listen to the lies that this man is somehow pushing some racist rhetoric. I heard him say some of the most uplifting things about black people. I listened to countless interviews of friends of his that were black that spoke so highly of this man. And they talked about his cause as though it was the coming of Jesus. And the more I'm watching this, the more I tend to agree with it. This man's message was pure. It was not a message of hate. It was a message of unity, a message of you are not a slave anymore. Anything that God put you here on this earth to do, you can do it.
Amen.
He sent so many young black kids to the White House to get the political experience. Man, I think I just barely scratched the surface as to what this guy's purpose was. But I'll say it, man. I said, I think we lost a good one. And the fact that he will go down in history as a racist by half of this country, man, I think that it's a shame. I really think it's a shame. I pray for us, and I hope that we heal, man, because the people who push this, the fact that they know that you won't go and check, and they can just say that anybody's racist, and they know that you are not going to go and check. They got you, man. They got us all, actually. This country could be so much better, man. So much better. But power and greed, I'm telling you, it's something else. Y'all take it easy today, man.
What y'all think of that? I talked about that yesterday. What y'all think of that? Shout out to you, Sean. Somebody disagreed. Why do you disagree, Washington? This is the end of we could have a little discussion. That's my last video. That was my last talking point. Taco Tuesday. Why do you disagree, Washington? Shout out to you, Sean McCann. A good one indeed. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. I talked about that video yesterday. I had to show that because that was obvious to me that a lot of black people with opinions of Charlie Kirk, because what did I say? Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes just got deplatformed. People like Russell Brand, Steven Crowder are not like people who come up in your FYP. Their voices are hidden. Russell Brand has to be on Rumble. Steven Crowder has to be on Rumble. And our brother Charlie Kirk, his message was not a message that was prominent. These messages are hidden. And I say they're hidden on purpose, right? So if you listen to Charlie Kirk before his death, you had to go find Charlie Kirk. You had to go find Steven Crowder and the Mug Club. You had to follow him to Rumble. If you were a fan of Louder with Crowder and you wanted to watch Louder with Crowder in its entirety, in its true essence, you had to follow him to Rumble because these voices were hidden. This is why I respected this brother making this video. And he's being honest, but I'm just pointing out some key points about the video that he had to go research Charlie Kirk. Why? because you only have clips that couch him as a racist, and I believe that's purposely by design. And his message, like Alex Jones, like a Nick Fuentes, is purposely hidden so that you can believe what the social democratic left-leaning media says about these individuals. And you definitely, if you want to know the truth behind a Charlie Kirk, a Steven Crowder, a Alex Jones, you can't just readily go find their message. You have to go find it. Most times you have to go to their personal website and pay. It's behind the paywall. Andrew Tate is another great example. Andrew Tate was making young men proud to be young men, making young men learn about politics and money and be masculine men. Where's Andrew Tate's voice now? Andrew Tate was on YouTube. He was #1 across all social media. Then he got hidden away and even prosecuted. This language during the last administration was hidden away. So I know people who say negative things about Charlie Kirk never have really heard him, don't know the message. And that's why I love this, because what we've been doing for 2 weeks, y'all. For 2 weeks, we've been saying Charlie Kirk's message was about the good book. Charlie Kirk had a message of peace and love and unity. And overall, what did I say? And what did young white men come in my chat and say? Charlie Kirk helped me get back to Christianity. How many young white men joined my channel, donated to the channel, and liked the Charlie Kirk content and said, yeah, Charlie Kirk's message, I didn't listen to Charlie Kirk for anything he said about race. If you talk to a lot of young white men who were converted by Charlie Kirk to Christianity and to conservative Republican views, they don't have any racist opinions about blacks. That's not why they listen to Charlie Kirk. They were afraid to go back to church. They felt afraid on college campuses because of Title IX, because of how many bathrooms, because of what sport to play. And so Charlie Kirk, working with Trump, which is why you get J.D. Vance, which is why you no longer have Title IX, working with Trump, wanted to make it comfortable again for American men, white, black, and Latino, to feel comfortable on college campuses. Don't worry about Title IX. Don't worry about being convicted guilty before you even get a chance to be tried by your peers. Title IX said men were guilty before they even got to be proven guilty. Title IX started off with the assumption that you believe all women, and if women say something about you, you're guilty and you have to prove your innocence. How many young black men do you remember who were going to the NFL and got their NFL and hoop dreams canceled by collegiate women who lied? And because Title IX was in existence, they were found guilty before they ever even got a trial. Charlie Kirk was about a lot more than you will ever know and understand. Every young white brother that's come in my chat has linked their love and affinity of TPS USA and Charlie Kirk to their faith. It's faith first. That's what I said since day one. Charlie Kirk was faith first. And if you listen to any of his followers, that's what it is, faith first. If you listen to Erica, when she gave her speech, she forgave the shooter. So remind people that we're faith first. Man, it's been a great show, man. It's been a great show, man. Happy Tuesday. Thank you, Candace Owens, for revealing those text messages and letting us know about our brother. what our brother was going through. This does not denote blame. We're not trying to blame any foreign entity. I think Candace Owens just is in the spirit of transparency, wants everyone to know what took place and what Charlie Kirk was facing, how he felt. You know, this is on top of the curse. Remember, they cursed Charlie Kirk. I told you the day he was shot, he looked like something was weighing. I'm telling you, all of this was weighing on him. This is all days and hours before the shooting. Days and hours before the shooting, he's getting these text messages. He had to speak with the prime minister of one of the most powerful foreign entities. That got to be pressure. He's only 30 years old. When we talk about pressure, imagine being a 30-year-old young man with a young wife, young children, and the prime minister of one of the most powerful foreign entities who's currently in a war, murdering people, just murdering, right? Think about this. This is a prime minister of a powerful foreign entity who's currently in a conflict where they're killing people, calling you on the damn phone, and you're 30 years old. How do you think he felt? How do you think he feel? How would you feel? I'm 50 years old. I wouldn't want that phone call. So I could imagine a 30-year-old young man without the wisdom of the world, but wise enough to understand that this is not normal. This is not and should not be normal. I should not be talking to a foreign entity's prime minister, especially one in conflict. Why is he calling me? I have my own ideas. I have my own designs on TPUSA. I created TPUSA. I respect the prime minister. I even respect and honor the sovereignty of this foreign entity. But please do not tell me how to run my content. That's all he's 30 years old. Charlie Kirk is a 30-year-old content creator. He said numerous times, I support you, Prime Minister. I support the foreign entity you represent and its rights. But do not tell me how to run my content. Do not tell me who to platform. I can platform Tucker Carlson if I want. And he said, I might invite Candace Owens. I will not be bullied. Is his word. That's the phraseology. I will not be bullied. As a content creator, what he is saying is, you will not dictate my content. Despite my allegiance, my Judeo-Christian allegiance, I will not be bullied and you will not dictate my content. My platform will not be your platform. These are the conversations he was having days before his demise. That's a hell of a conversation for a 30-year-old. And I could tell it was weighing on him. You could see him hunched over. You could see him hunched over. It was weighing on him. Okay, Washington didn't clarify, so let's get Washington out of here. Washington is just a hater. We asked Washington to clarify, but Washington didn't clarify. So Washington just a hater. So we get Washington up out of here. Any other haters? That's all the haters. Got all the haters up out of here. Thank you, Sean. And thank you, Jason, for being respectful and mindful of the community guidelines and respecting the chat and the moderator. You guys remember there is a super chat button. I do have a Cash App, $ Big D Rants. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Check me out on Instagram, Perfect Timing Podcast. Check me out on Twitter, Perfect Timing Podcast, or X, Perfect Timing Podcast. Subscribe to me on YouTube at Perfect Timing Podcast. You're watching Top of the Mid-Morning from an OG perspective. That's the name of the show. I'm the OG every day at 11 a.m. Tune in every day at 11 a.m. It's MAGA-centric, conservative, political discussion, but really it's family first, right? Like I said, faith first. I'm couching my message in MAGA conservatism, but really when I say we knew what Project 2025 is, it was always about Charlie Kirk's message. This is why Charlie Kirk was friends with Trump, because it's not really about what the Democrats say. It's really about fathers and families. It's really about God and country. It really is. It really is about fathers and families. And I'm not surprised. I knew who the Heritage Foundation was. I knew about Project 2025. And I picked that over the Trender Guagua. Some of us knew the Heritage Foundation. Some of us knew Project 2025. Some of us knew it would be a focus on fathers and families, God and country. And we picked that knowingly over what happened in Aurora, Colorado, what's happening in Chicago, Illinois. We rather have that than Venezuelan gangs overrunning the country. And I just can't understand anyone who would argue that you think we would be better under a Democratic administration, especially under a Kamala Harris who could not manage the border, which is how we get TDA in the country. This is how we got Venezuelan gangs in the country. She could not even adequately answer it, even in her book. So I don't understand how you assume Americans could be better when Americans literally got kicked out of their homes. We dealt with, do you understand that these Venezuelan cartel members kicked American citizens. These are not citizens. They came to Chicago, Aurora, and many U.S. cities and took over apartment complexes with extortion and violence and kicked out the black people who live there. I don't understand how life would be better for those individuals under Kamala Harris, the person who allowed it and sanctioned it. I mean, truly sanctioned it. I mean, sanctuary cities. How could life be better for black people in Chicago, in Aurora, in DC, in East St. Louis? Can you explain it to me? Under a Kamala Harris, under a Democratic regime who opened up the border, who welcomed these Venezuelan gang members. So you tell me life would be better. Because I see it every day. Like, they laugh and giggle. Oh, you voted for Trump. This is what you voted. Yes, this is what I voted for, and I'm even happier. I'm happy. I support Operation Midway Blitz in Chicago. Yes, I voted for this, and I am even happier about it than I could even describe. Yes, I believe I want Operation. If you give me a choice, listen to this. This is the way I'm framing it. If you give me a choice between Operation Midway Blitz and Treinta de Agua, Venezuelan cartel criminals who Venezuela released from prison, coming to my neighborhood and kicking out citizens, yeah, I pick the Midway Blitz. Don't you? Do you understand how perverse it is for Democrats to even ask you to go against you? The Democrats are asking you to go against you. Yes, I pick Midway Blitz. I can't pick Treinta de Agua. Come on, that's not racist. That's just logical. Black people in Chicago and Mexicans are one. Well, I'm not talking about black people and I'm not talking about black people and Mexicans. How many times did I say Venezuelan, you guys? This is the hypnosis and the cognitive dissonance of the Democratic Party. How many times did I say Treinta de Agua, Venezuelan? I bet you this dummy don't know that Venezuela is in South America. Mexico is part of North America. We talking about two different continents, brother. And that's not even insulting you at the end of the podcast. I don't want to insult you. There's more Mexicans in Chicago than Venezuela. Now you want to get into the conversation, dum-dum? Come on, dum-dum. I can't have a intellect. You can't. You just not talking from a vantage point worthy of having a conversation with you. I'm gonna get you out of here. I'm gonna get you out of here. Because it just don't make no sense. And this is the thing about the trolls and the dum-dums. When you re-educate them, they can't never be honest about the fact, oh yeah, I apologize, perfect. You weren't not talking about Mexican immigrants. I'm from San Francisco. It's black and brown in San Francisco. I'm not talking about Mexicans. And that's the biggest thing that Trump tried to educate you on about when they opened the border on who was coming across. Look at the person who committed the homicide in Florida that Gavin Newsom gave CDLs to. Did you guys this is the last thing we're going to talk about so we can get this Mexican shit out of the way, because that's what's happening with ICE in Chicago and LA. It's not about Mexicans. It's not about blacks. It's about the immigrants who came here over those years and then they come here legally and they got to get up. That's what it's about. And they're not Mexican. The overwhelming majority of them are not Mexican. Do you guys remember just recently, briefly, the gentleman who in a tractor trailer truck who did an illegal U-turn? Thank you, Deborah. The gentleman in a tractor trailer truck who did an illegal U-turn in Florida. I was surprised to learn that he was from California. I was surprised, but I shouldn't have been. He did an illegal U-turn in a tractor trailer truck in Florida, and people were killed. He killed people. Come to find out, he got his CDLs in California. What else did we learn? That he came across the border during the Biden administration. What else did we learn? He wasn't Mexican or South American. Y'all remember the picture? Deborah, do you remember what Nash? It don't matter. But just to this individual's point about our discussion, do y'all remember he had a turban on his head? He had a turban on his head. I remember Trump, and I remember seeing a lot of Chinese coming across. A lot of people who did not look Mexican. This is why Mexicans overwhelmingly voted for Trump in the last election, because they felt like the Democrats had used them when they knew this was not a Mexican issue. Because like I said, Mexico has some of the most highest skilled workers. They're not running to America. Some of the highest skilled factory employees are in Mexico. Some of the most advanced factories are in Mexico. Your Volkswagen, your Rolls Royce, your BMW, your Mercedes, your microchips, all being built currently in Mexico by some of the most intelligent, high functioning factory workers in the globe. I knew that. I knew those Mexicans were not coming to America. I knew that. South America opened up their jails, and then they came here. Chinese, Indian, Sheik, everybody came across. Everybody came across. Everybody came across. And just one example, one horrible example, is the person who got their CDLs in California, who came across during the Biden administration, who killed people in Florida, who was not Mexican or Latino. Is that bananas? I mean, what do you say, Democrats? Just that example right there. He came across the Mexican border during the Biden administration, got CDLs in California, committed murder in Florida. And he wasn't Mexican or Latino, wasn't from South America. He was from the Middle East. This is the truth of the situation we're dealing with in America. This is why it's a necessity for Midway Blitz. Y'all don't understand the facts on the ground. Y'all don't understand the facts on the ground. Super chat, you guys. We got a goal of 15 super chats. Hit the super chat. Hit the Cash App, $ Big D Rants. We're coming up on 2 hours. Thank you for everybody who watched. Thank you for everybody who hit the like button. Shout out to my family, Deborah Carr. Yes, I remember. A lot of people see these things and throw them out the window and get emotional. The Democrat strategy is fear and anger. The Democrat strategy is fear and anger. Get you angry at ICE, right? But you forget about Trinidad de Agua and Aurora. How many people got reminded today? How many people were reminded? I'm going to be honest. I reminded myself. I did my research on the Venezuelans taking over Chicago, but I get so spirited and God be working and the spirit be working. And as I talked about Trinidad de Agua taking over Chicago, it jumped in my head. Damn, didn't this happen in Colorado? And so we looked it up. And I wasn't even sure. I'm dyslexic. I spelled Denver with a B. I asked the search engine, did this happen in Denver? Deber. I meant to say Denver, but I'm dyslexic and I spelt it incorrectly. Guess what the search engine came back? The search engine said, yeah, this did happen in Aurora, Colorado. And I was like, dang, I forgot about Aurora, Colorado. I was thinking Denver. I forgot. Man, this AI engine is a trip. Huh? This AI engine is a trip. I couldn't even remember. I can't even spell correctly and it got it right for me. Huh? I didn't even spell it correctly and it got it right for me. I'm looking for it right now. I must have lost it, you guys. Venezuela, right here. Venezuela, here go my research. We talked about Portland homicide uptick, but let me go to where I asked it about Denver and it came back. It said, yes, the Denver metro area, specifically Aurora, a suburb of Denver. And then I remembered the reports. I know all of you who watch me remember the TikToks, the news reports of the Venezuelan gangs kicking out black, because they were specific about blacks. This happened during the Democratic administration to make you angry, black people. Remember? Black people get kicked out of apartments in Chicago. Black people lose their homes in Aurora. That's the way the news do it. During the Democrat administration, they wanted you to be mad. Now they want you to be on the side of the immigrants. Which one, Democrats, which one do you want? Because when you was in power in the black people get kicked out of apartments, why didn't you go fix it? Why you wait for Trump and Midway Blitz? Yes, the Denver metro area, specifically Aurora, a suburb of Denver, experienced highly publicized Trenta de Agua takeovers of apartment complexes mirroring the Chicago. So it wasn't just Trenta de Agua in Chicago, it was Trenta de Agua in Aurora. It says here, these claims emerged prominently in 2023 and 2024 amid Colorado's, listen to this, migrant influx. Over 40,000 arrivals since 2022. I'm gonna say that again. Over 40,000 arrivals since 2022. And you want to talk about why do we need Operation Midway Blitz? Why do we need to hire more ICE agents? 40,000 Venezuelan gang members in a suburb of Denver, not the real metropolis. How you gotta feel if you buy a home in the suburbs to get away, to be safe. The suburbs supposed to be quiet. Aurora saw $40,000 person influx. Trump says 25 million, allegedly. The Democrats say 10 million came across. Where do you think them 10 million people went? If you even go with the 10 million number, where they went? In what large numbers? So if 10 million people came across, then it's believable that 40,000 of them 40,000 went to one suburb because 10 million came across. 40,000. And you don't think we need Operation Midway Blitz? Because it's the way they couch it. Oh, ice-free zones, sanctuary zone. But what about Trenta de Agua? And all of the reports we saw from the black citizens of Chicago and Aurora, not just reports from the media, but TikTok, independent media, people who live in Aurora, people who live in Chicago, who were honest about the Venezuelan takeover. What about all that? Do we just throw that away? Do we just forget about that? Deborah Carr said, yes, they were begging for help. Remember, they said a motorcycle gang was riding down there. They were going to do their own protection. So that's my understanding of this whole thing. Y'all let me know your opinion. Even after the video is over, what helps the video grow is that you go ahead and leave a comment. So if you weren't able to comment in the live today because you didn't feel comfortable, when the live is over, I would love to hear your opinion. And I thank you for your support and your views. God bless you, everybody watching. God bless America, the President, Charlie Kirk, memory, and his family. Y'all have a blessed day every day at 11 a.m. Like, share, subscribe, hit the like button. You can still double tap and hit the like. Even after the show, you can still double tap and like the video. I should say that more often. Even after the show, you can double tap and like the video, right? Every day at 11 a.m. My name is Perfect. This is the Perfect Timing Podcast, top of the mid-morning from an OG perspective. Every day at 11 a.m. I would love for you to join the channel, join the conversation, support the channel via Super Chat or Cash App. And thank you all for your support. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Same bat time, same bat